My brother's text came through while I sat hunched over the shaky desk in my cramped studio apartment, pretending today's sketch was anything more than a lazy doodle. Sunlight sliced through the single window, bleaching the stack of canvases my family liked to call hobby clutter. Sold your amateur paintings for $50 each. You're welcome, Ethan wrote. Found them in Mom's garage. I stared at my cooling coffee. Those 5 weren't extras. They were early pieces I'd tucked away 3 years ago, the first works of my Apex series, signed under my pseudonym V. Rowan. Thanks for letting me know. I typed back. His reply came instantly. You're not mad? I figured you'd flip when I told you I dumped your stuff without asking. Not mad. Fascinated, I wrote. Those amateur pieces are worth about $12 million each now. And the buyers? My team, tasked with recovering any lost Rowans. My phone rang. Ethan again. His voice carried that syrupy fake concern he used when guilt was circling. Hey, Nora, don't be upset, okay? 50 each isn't bad for beginner work. The estate sale guy said most went for 20. Estate sale? I asked quietly. Yeah, Dad, and I cleaned out the garage. Boxes of your art stuff. He needed the money. Dad needing money. Right. Gregory Way, the accountant who worshipped spreadsheets and practicality. Who bought them? I asked. Some dealer from the city. Nice guy. Left his card. Adrian Cole, I think. Of course. Adrian Cole. Cole and Hart, my gallery. The man who had guided V. Rowan's silent rise for 4 careful years. That was thoughtful, I said before hanging up. Then I logged into my real life, Red Bridge Gallery's online portal. The most recent Rowan exhibition had sold out in under 3 hours. Prices ranged between $8 and $15 million per canvas. A new text arrived. Adrian acquired 5 early Apex pieces at estate sale. Secured. Climate control. Need to discuss authentication. Inclusion? Me. Keep the family story intact. Let's plan a retrospective. The next afternoon, I drove back to the split-level home where I'd once learned to balance budgets and bury dreams. Dad greeted me at the door, cheerful in that rehearsed way. Ethan told me about the garage sale, he said, leading me to the old sofa that still held the ghost of my art school rebellion. Hope you're not upset. Actually, I'm grateful you made space, I said evenly. He handed me a manila folder, printouts, job listings, sticky notes, customer service roles, admin work, entry-level bookkeeping. Dreams don't pay rent, Nora. The market's cruel. If you're getting $50 for months of work, the math is obvious. I looked at the numbers. $32,000 a year, $28,000 with benefits, $35,000 to start. My last Apex canvas had sold for $14.2 million. I set the folder down. Let me think about it. On the drive home, I didn't turn toward my apartment. I went straight to the warehouse district, to the real space where V. Rowan lived. Skylight spilled white light across 12-foot canvases that leaned like giants waiting to wake. I called Adrian. About the retrospective, I said, tracing the edge of an unfinished panel. No interviews. No face. The art stands alone. A ghost exhibition, he mused. Absence as critique. It could amplify everything, value, attention. Anonymity is protection. I admitted. My family's certainty that I'm failing keeps them from seeing the truth. And it's a cage, she said gently. Your ideas deserve light. Together, we built a plan that preserved the mask but widened the lens. Invisible vector. 5 years of Apex. Early works reclaimed. Evolution documented. Let the market roar, while Nora stayed invisible. 3 weeks later, the announcement detonated across the art world. Opening night, I lingered across from Red Bridge in jeans and jacket, watching Blacktown cars release collectors into the golden light. I slipped inside as a stranger. People crowded around 5 small canvases, the ones Ethan had sold, now mounted under placards reading Proto-Apex. Seeds of the language. $60 million for the set, a collector said. I nearly laughed. $50 had bought my father bear shells, and me, a sharper disguise. My phone buzzed. Ethan again. The dealer who bought your stuff wants to meet. Says your style could pull in a few hundred. Proud of you for being realistic. Realistic. At the back of the gallery, Adrian hovered. We spoke as if we didn't know each other. Anonymity focuses the eye on the work, I said. And sometimes, he murmured, armor becomes the art. Weeks of media coverage followed. The myth expanded. Dad sent me more job postings. Ethan offered to help out with a bridge loan, his kind of kindness. In the warehouse, I faced new canvases. Paintings about family, invisibility, and economy of doubt. I realized the next step demanded risk. I'm signing these with my real name, I told Adrian. A pause. Then he nodded. We'll reveal it on your terms. The museum announcement broke, the news the world had been guessing. Rowan is Norway. Cameras whirled. I muted them all and drove my parents' house, where thrift store plaques lined the walls. They looked at me like I'd crossed a border they'd never seen. I didn't hide to spite you, I said. Your certainty that I'd fail, it gave me cover. You didn't look, and I needed to stay unseen. Ethan's eyes dropped to his hands. I sold $60 million for $250. You sold 5 lessons, I said softly. About attention, about value, about how stories define worth. We talked until the knot between us loosened. Months later, they stood in a gallery beneath my real name, introducing me not as Almost, but as the artist I had always been.